Hi everyone, and welcome to my little extra series that I'm going to be starting on my channel this week. This is what I fondly refer to as my Whip It Down week, the Thanksgiving edition, and this is the 2022 edition. I've been doing this for several years now. Several years. I think this is my third year filming it. Might be my third year filming it. And I've been doing it for many years. Probably 8 to 10 years, not longer. So the backstory for this, and today's video is just an introduction to what I'm going to be doing. So the backstory is I work as a faculty member at a local university close to where I live, and every year for the week when Thanksgiving falls, so in the US, the week when Thanksgiving falls, so this week coming up, the university closes down for the week. And we have no classes, we have no meetings, we have no any of that stuff. So pretty much everything shuts down, with the exception of some of the food and housing stuff for a small number of students who are residential students and will be staying. But in general, the university shuts down. Offices are closed, administration is out, faculty are out, staff are skeleton, there's very few people there. So during the week, since I'm freed up from work responsibilities, and since I'm also in a mode where I just want to relax and recharge my batteries, I have designated that week as my Whip It Down week, where I spend most of my spare time each and every day working on each and every whip that I have, or work in progress that I have. The other thing I do is I tend to extend my Thanksgiving break a little bit unofficially. My teaching schedule is not really weird. I have two of my classes are 100% online, so I post the material. The students are responsible for getting things done each and every week. So typically with that, I'm just monitoring that for any questions, any discussion, comments, and so on. My other class is in the classroom face-to-face. And that class I teach on, it's an hour and 75 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes on Monday and on Wednesday afternoons, where I meet with my students face-to-face in the classroom. And so it's late afternoon, or mid-afternoon when the class is. So since my class finishes at 3:45 today on Wednesday, November 16th, unofficially that is when my Thanksgiving break begins. I have no meetings or anything on Thursday or Friday, and I'm free as of 3:45 on Wednesday afternoon. So I tend to start my Thanksgiving break a few days early. So technically my Whip It Down week is about 11 or 12 days. And we're not back to work. School reopens on the Monday after Thanksgiving break. So I think that's the 28th or 29th of November, whatever that Monday is. So what I tend to do during my Whip It Down week is I will line up all of my works in progress, which currently for me, and for the last few years actually, has been, this year I have, there's a truck noisily coming to a stop at the light up on the intersection here. Anyway, so I have 3 whips. Well, actually a 4th one that I will show you in just a few minutes. It's sort of a whip. I'll explain. So I have 4 projects that I will devote my focus to during the next 11-12 days. And what I typically do is I will line them all up. And just for an example, so tomorrow I will choose one of those 4 and I will spend all my spare time tomorrow working on that project only. Friday I'll choose another one, the second one, and I will spend all my spare time on Friday working on that project. Saturday, the third day, I will pick a third project and a fourth, and so on. I have the hope that I can finish something. If not finish it, at least I will be able to put a serious dent in each of them. And I will work on them. If you've been watching my podcast in the last while, you'll know that I've basically only worked on 2 in the last month, 6 weeks. It's been a long time since I've touched one of my WIPs. The final one, I'll show you that in just a few minutes, and that'll make a bit more sense. So the plan going forward is that I will post this video this evening, on Wednesday evening, and then on Thursday morning what I will do is I will do a quick little video clip of my starting point on the WIP that I've chosen to begin with. And then I will spend the day working on that. I might show you some of my progress working on this project, whichever project it is. I hope to also do a few little video clips of other things during my days, like vlog style kind of stuff. So I will do a little bit of that as well. And then I will compile all of that, and I will post the first video, like day 1, I will post that at the end of day 1. So that'll be Thursday. So on Friday what I'll do is I will film what I managed to accomplish in day 1. So I will give you an update of where I finished the day off in. And then I will... There's a whole bunch of people walking down the street here. Huh. What is that? I'm very nosy. High school kids. I'm so distracted by shiny things. Oh my goodness. I have the attention span of a gnat sometimes. Yeah, school kids. Hiking out somewhere. There's a bunch of them. A couple dozen. Anyway. Now I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. So on the second day, what I do is I will videotape an update of what I managed to accomplish on the previous day. And then I will show you where I am at the starting point for the second project. And then some other little random vlog style things during the day if anything happens interesting during my day. If you watch my Vlogtober, you know that sometimes not much interesting happens during my day. So that's the plan. Then the third day I will show you my progress from day 2 and what I'm going to work on for day 3 and so on. And then I will cycle through, so the first 4 days I will cycle through the first 4 projects. Then I will go back on day 5, I will go back to project 1 and spend the day on that one. So this way I will spend time on all my projects every single, or not every single day. I will, over the next 10, 11 days, I will spend time on working on all of my WIPs at some point. And I'll spend a minimum of 3 to 4 days on each one of them. So the hope is that I will make some major progress and just refocus on getting stuff done on all of them, because as you know, I tend to neglect it. Right now I have the 3 main works in progress, and one of them I haven't touched in probably about 6 weeks. So without further ado, I'll post a picture up here of each intern of each of my WIPs and just give you a quick rundown of what I've got to work with. So the first one, and some of these you will be familiar with. So the first one is my Twists and Turns, the West Knits MCal for 2022. I am almost done with clue number 3. I have about 40 or 50 rows left to do, and in this clue the rows are short. So I have about 40 to 50 rows left to do. I am actually hoping that I can bang that out tonight. I'll be leaving for work probably in the next half an hour, and I'm hoping to, once I get done with work in the afternoon, I'm hoping to get that third clue finished tonight. So my West Knits MCal for 2022 is one of my WIPs. So that's the first one, the one I've worked on most often recently. Second one is my Christmas sort of shorty toe-up 2 at a time socks, and those are a pair of socks I started up fairly recently, but I've made good progress on them so far. I'm about an inch away from starting the gusset increasing on the foot, and then I'll go into the heel and continue on. So that's making good progress. It'd be cool if I could get those finished or close to finished during WIP-it Down week. I'm also hoping I can get the MCal finished during WIP-it Down week. Not holding my breath on either of those actually happening, but I want to get significantly closer to finishing those. My third WIP is my Rachel top. And this is the thing that I have not touched in probably about 6 weeks. I'll double check my records, and I can tell you exactly when I did last work on it. And since it's been a while, the biggest problem is I don't know where to put the pattern. I've spent half an hour this morning rooting through all the loose paper crap on my desk. I have not located it. I don't know where it is. That's a problem. I was hoping to start that one tomorrow on the first day, but if I can't find the pattern, I'll print it out again, but then I have to figure out where I am in the pattern, because the actual pattern itself, what I typically do is I print out the pattern and then I mark it up and keep track of what row I'm on and all that stuff. I don't know where it is. That annoys me. So I need to continue. Probably the first thing on my list to do tomorrow is finish cleaning off my stinking desk so that if it is there, I can find it. I'm just looking over at the desk and anyway, so that's my third WIP, and I hope that I can find the stinking pattern so that I don't have to try to remember what I did and where I left off. I probably could count up my stitches, but not impressed with myself for putting the pattern page down someplace. I had it in a project bag. I switched over and put something else in the project bag, and I don't know where I put the papers. Anyway, so that's frustrating. Anyway, and the fourth WIP is sort of not really my WIP. A while back I bought some things at an online auction, and there was some clothing I had picked up, some purses, and also some fabric. But in amongst the fabric I found this. There's 22 of these crocheted squares done. So it's not enough to make a blanket sized for much of anyone. It might be okay as a crib blanket, But anyway, what I think I'll do is I will do it up. I'll use 20 of the squares, and I will do a 4x5, attach the squares together, and then use some of the cream colored yarn that's also in the box of stuff and do a border on it to make it a bit larger. Worst case scenario, I will donate it to the Humane Society to use as a pet blanket. It'll be a decent size for a larger animal, like a larger dog. Or I'll see how it turns out. Maybe if I do enough of a border on it, it will be a good size for a small lap blanket or a small crib blanket or something like that. So that's actually the 4th WIP I have, which again, it's not a project I started or that was initially mine, but it's something I do want to finish up and do something with it. And then the remaining yarn that was in with that auction lot, I will use to make other pet blankets sometime down the road. So those are the 4 WIPs I have. The crochet blanket will probably not take much time whatsoever, and that will be a finished object quickly. It won't take too long to stitch the squares together. I'm weird in that I kind of don't mind doing that. I know a lot of people don't like joining squares. I find it very meditative, and I like doing it. So the plan is maybe I'll start with that one tomorrow, especially since I can't find the Rachel pattern or the Rachel top pattern right this moment. So that's the plan. So in general, the videos, this will be the longest video, I suspect. The other videos will each probably only be 5 to 10 minutes long. So they'll be similar to the Vlogtober type videos I did. So they will be, some of them will be under 5 minutes if nothing is going on during the day and all I've done is just work on a project. Some of them might be 5 to 10 minutes if I get out of the house and do something interesting besides sitting and knitting or crafting. So I hope you'll join me during this time. If you have WIPs of your own, especially if you have time during the Thanksgiving break, some freed up time. I don't have to worry about cooking things. We don't have family in this part of the country, so the hubby and I are just going on a little getaway. We're going to go stay in an Airbnb type of place in a town about an hour, 10-minute drive from here. So we're going to have a lot of downtime. The hubby's already got a little stack of books and things he wants to take to read. I have all my knitting lined up that I'm going to take to work on, and we plan on spending a lot of our time just recharging our batteries. But if you do have some free time, I would love it if you would join me and do your own little whip it down week. If not, just cheer me on and cross your fingers that I can find that stupid pattern. I'm mad at myself that I can't find it. Ugh. Anyway, on that note, I shall let you go. I will post this video later tonight. I've got to get organized. I've got to pack my lunch and get organized to get going this morning. So I will get the editing on this done this evening and get it posted before I go to bed tonight. And I'll be ready to start my Whip It Down week tomorrow morning. And there's another noisy truck out there. You get all the ambient noises at my place. Anyway, on that note, I really am going to shut up and get going. So take care, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye now.